when the Lord gone. And the buzz unleash hell when the war's on. Bloodthirsty when the dogs put their paws on. You gon' tell them that they go a little bit of blows on. Put them on the battlefields where they can. And then the real niggas just tryna miss what I said, Command this bitch and put a purse on them. Get them wild niggas going around deaths on them. I'm the general, I can be worse off than my soldiers is ready to put a black house on them. Bring them to the wake, quick them with a requiem and throw them in the pit and throw a little bit of dirt on them.
Avengers!
Dirt on them, throw a little dirt on them. Trigger fingers in the air, put a little work on them. Work on them, put a little work on them.
Assemble.
Put a little dirt on them. Put a little dirt on them.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. You've probably seen a lot of websites and Marvel actors participating in big MCU rewatch series lately since we've all mostly been stuck in our homes. So a lot of you requested I do a new video series doing new breakdown videos and Easter egg videos for all the Marvel movies in the Infinity Saga, covering all the details and deleted scenes that have been uncovered, teasing Marvel Phase 4 stuff happening in the future, going all the way back to the Marvel Phase 1 movies. Things setting up Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, the upcoming Marvel Phase 5 stuff like Mutants, X-Men, Deadpool, the Fantastic Four. There have been so many deleted scenes and details that Marvel has revealed in the last couple years about the early Phase 1 movies setting up X-Men, it's crazy. So I still have 2 giant Infinity Saga box sets to give away of all the Blu-rays from all the movies. What I'll do is I'll give those away as part of the video series. Originally I had planned on doing that for the Black Widow movie when it hit theaters in a couple weeks, but since that's been delayed till November along with the rest of the Marvel Phase 4 movies, I don't want to wait till November to give away the Infinity Saga box sets. This is what they look like on the inside. Not only do they have all the Blu-rays from all the movies in 4K, they also have a special bonus disc with a bunch of deleted scenes that have never been released before. I've done a couple videos for those, so I'll link one of those at the end of this. What you need to do to participate in that as part of this big series is just become a subscriber if you aren't already, and when I post new breakdown and Easter egg videos for each of the MCU movies, I'll be picking the winners based on who I think leaves the best, most insightful comments amongst the subscribers. So it is more of a contest than usual, but the Infinity Saga box sets are a really big deal. Since I've got 2 of them, we'll name the first winner at the halfway point. We'll call that the video for Avengers Age of Ultron. In terms of pacing, I think doing at least 2 Marvel movies per week minimum seems like a good place to start, and I'll just adjust the pace and how frequently I post them based on the response from you guys. The most important thing you guys can do is just make sure that you have alerts turned on for my channel in order to get all the videos and participate in the comments for each movie. Just as a preview, here's some of the major things we've learned in the years since some of these movies have come out, going all the way back to the Marvel Phase 1 and Phase 2 movies. So just going down the list here, starting with Iron Man's father, Howard Stark, having the Space Stone for a long time without realizing it was an Infinity Stone. He only knew it as the Tesseract. And by the time we got to Iron Man 2 and Iron Man is trying to create an arc reactor that won't poison him slowly, he uses Howard Stark's research on the Tesseract to complete his father's concept of a new element capable of creating incredible amounts of clean energy. So Iron Man has effectively been powering his arc reactors this whole time with the power of an Infinity Stone. All that research is based on the science of the Space Stone. It's a really clever way to explain how he's been so powerful this whole time, and a good example of how Marvel and Kevin Feige in those early days had ideas for how the story of the Infinity Saga might play out, but they always try to leave room so that they can introduce new ideas in the next movie to pay things off in an even bigger way and say, hey, we've been planning this cool twist the whole time. Another good example is the X-Men, the Mutants, and Spiderman Easter eggs in the original Iron Man post-credit scene. Another really cool example of them doing a huge Easter egg that changes the complete mythology of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. James Gunn recently just participated in a rewatch of Guardians of the Galaxy and said originally his movie didn't include any of the Thanos scenes or the backstory on the Infinity Stones that the Collector gave them. He said that those were parts that Marvel and Kevin Feige asked him to add to the movie so that it could continue setting up the Infinity Saga of movies. He said they also told him to write an origin story for the Infinity Stones, but didn't tell him what the story should be or how he should do that. In that scene, the origin of the Infinity Stones is probably one of the biggest foundations for the upcoming Eternals movies, Thanos' backstory, and the cosmic origin of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, talking about eternity and the idea of the firmament. If you're not a big comic book reader or you're not familiar with a lot of the big cosmic concepts in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there are actually characters who are cosmic beings that wield near unlimited power. Within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's this concept of multiple Big Bangs, so every new era, the universe dies, heat death, contracts, and then re-expands in another Big Bang. The Infinity Stones are the remnants of the previous version of the universe. That's why they're so powerful. They contain the power of an entire universe distilled down into the tiny form of those stones. It's also the explainer for how Galactus is so powerful and where he comes from. That's all big Marvel Phase 4 story that they're going to get into during the next 10 years, explaining who Galactus is, how he was created, and how he's related to the other Celestials like Ego the Living Planet. Everyone wants to know about the Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Galactus in the new MCU movies. Galactus actually used to be a humanoid man. His real name was Galen. He used to be a scientist from the previous version of the main universe. As his universe was slowly dying and contracting, getting ready for another Big Bang, he went to study that, and as it was happening, he was approached by the current version of Eternity at that time. They made a pact to survive, then during the Big Bang that created our current Marvel Cinematic Universe, they were reborn as Galactus, this single being. We don't know which movie Galactus is going to show up in for the first time, probably after they debut the new version of the Fantastic Four, but there is this big Galactus saga that they can do now because they have access to those characters. Even if you're not a big comic book reader, you probably remember during Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Peter Quill has a vision of the cosmic entity Eternity when Ego the Living Planet awakens more of his celestial abilities. Eternity is the anthropomorphic being that encompasses the entire universe. We're getting into the multiverse during Marvel Phase 4 like Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness. Each different universe of the multiverse has its own distinct version of Eternity and its own distinct version of the Infinity Stones. The next really cool new detail and Easter egg we learned about long after these movies came out is that during Avengers Infinity War, there was actually a deleted scene with the Living Tribunal. During that fight, Doctor Strange was going to send Thanos on the same cosmic tour of the multiverse that the Ancient One sent him on during the first Doctor Strange movie, and after Thanos crashed his way through a bunch of different dimensions, Doctor Strange took him to be judged by the Living Tribunal. During Iron Man 2, I was just talking about Iron Man creating the new element based on the Infinity Stone to power his arc reactors. There's actually a deleted scene from that movie also setting up more X-Men stuff for Marvel Phase 4 and Marvel Phase 5.
Tap the Oracle grid. I need some stuff out of storage. Give me everything from projects Pegasus, Exodus, and Goliath. Get ready for a major remodel.
All those things are actually setting up stuff that they paid off in future movies that we found out about later. So Project Pegasus is actually related to Captain Marvel. It's all about the base and them trying to use the Tesseract to create another infinite energy source. Project Goliath was something that S.H.I.E.L.D. was working on with Goliath from the comics, Lawrence Fishburne's character. They finally paid that off during Ant-Man and the Wasp. Project Exodus is all about setting up the Eternals. The biblical Exodus is then them leaving society and setting up the X-Men characters. Now, obviously, X-Men are a little further off, but Marvel's Eternals movie is going to recontextualize a lot of other things and where mutants come from in the MCU. And a little while ago, I did a breakdown of the footage that they screened off from the movie, showing some of the character designs and the way their powers work. It's very similar to the way the powers and the costumes of the modern-day characters look. So my first video as part of this Infinity Saga Rewatch series will be the first Iron Man movie. That'll post in the next couple of days. As long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you should see the video when I post it, and we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully this works and we get through all the Infinity Saga movies, all 23. Everyone let me know in the comments if there's any special requests you have as part of this video series. And there is some big Marvel stuff coming up. There'll be a couple big trailers. I know everyone wants the Venom 2 trailer, but while you wait for everything, click here for my breakdown of that new Eternals footage, and click here for my breakdown of that Black Panther 2 teaser. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.